A lot of people didn't think it was the right move, right?
And look at what's happening now, right?
Exactly. But like I said, like I always follow my now, right? Win, lose, or draw. I know that if I follow this and say we fell, I can feel like, yeah, I have no regrets in my mind because I gave everything.
Yeah.
Right? And
How do you, I think right there, that speaks to like the ethos or like the core, if you will, of someone and like money. Because I've experienced, because we're talking about risk too, right?
yeah.
Like, what are you going to risk it for?
Yeah.
What are you going to risk opportunity cost too? Because like, if I don't do this, then that's going to cost me this down the line.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like get a job, fucking Walmart or something. You know what I mean? Like, but like you said, taking a risk, I'm going to be a fisherman. Bruh, that kind of a attitude when you talk about money. Someone told me like this random guy, this is on Sanjo, this is in Japan. So I lived there 8 years and we would meet in this one spot in Kyoto. It's like if we was to say on Oahu, where's Kyoto, I'd say it's kind of like Kalakaua, Waikes maybe, you know, where it's like it's busy, there's people, but if you go 5 blocks that way, it's kind of quiet and maybe a little bit sketch. So we cruising over there, and this guy I never met before, he was just cruising, drinking, whatever, and he's like, but I can tell, and this is in Japanese too, but he's like, I can tell you don't care about money. And I was like, what the because we just cruising, bro. I was like, we drinking. I thought we was just cruising. There's like the pre-funk before you go out to like a bar or something. Right. Just on the river cruising.
Pre-game.
And then he just say that to me. And I didn't respond because I was like, what? Thinking in my head, like, what does he mean by that? And he followed up with, he's like, bro, I can tell you don't care about money because you just see it as a tool. And it kind of like shook me because one, I wasn't in the mood for like that philosophy, right? But then two, like it kind of hit. Like I was like, oh, there's been a lot of times where I'm like, I can get it, I can use it. And the marriage or like when you put up the wall and you hear something like 40K, I don't shake, I don't stutter. Like 40K, it could be 40B, whatever. Yeah. It's what is it going to move and how can I use it? And so it's not like a thing where you get like sticker shock or like you might think like, shit, what number I got to make? I'll make it. What is a mortgage? I'll make it. Whatever. It don't matter. Like that kind of like don't caring about money. It's been hard for me to like internalize. And I think recently with all of this kind of like content we make in, I started thinking about it more, but it sounded like you had that of like, whatever it is, I'll just get it. If it costs this much for a boat, I'll just get it. Maybe somebody will be like, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. But you're like, no, I get it. I get the boat and then I go out on the ocean. Yeah. I don't go on the ocean if I don't got a boat. So I'm just looking at getting a boat. Yeah. Boom, got it. Next. And so like that puzzle thing I was saying earlier, boom, that was just a piece for you to put together. I have a boat now. It might not be the best shape. It might not be the best situation, price, whatever, but I have a boat. Yeah. Next. Exactly. Next. Which, you know what? Like, let's talk about the kind of actual fishing that you do. Because you were dropping gems on me outside earlier about the actual structure of, well, all the papers you need before you even get the boat. The kind of boats, the long line fleet, how many there are out there, who's captains. I know your sister's working on something interesting. Like, let's get into that kind of the real side of fishing that people don't see.
I guess for me, easy because I physically seen and been there and witnessed successful people who fish, right? It's like my mentors. So in my mind, it's like, follow the steps they did. You should be able to get there, right? It's not rocket science. So I always, like I told my wife, when I growing up, when you take me to a job, whether it be cutting trees or fishing, like I would look at the job and I would try and break it down systematically from hardest to easiest. And I'll attack the hardest straight up first. Go after the hardest part of the job, the goal, whatever it is, with the fresh eyes, fresh spirit that you have. Attack the hard part first. So that way when you get to the easier part, your energy levels might be matching. Instead of going easy first and using up all your energy, and when you get to the real hit the wall, like time for goal, and you're like, oh, I'm exhausted already. By the time I finish that and you just starting that, I'm downhill already. I'm coming downhill. So I like to look at it like that, like, yeah, if we gotta pay the mortgage, how much is the mortgage? Okay, well, how many bags of fish is that? You know, like break it down to the smallest. Okay, if it's that many bags, how much I gotta sell today, tomorrow, and the next day to make that go? And so as long as I continue to just break it down to the smallest amounts and attack each one, when I turn around, you know, you're halfway done already. And like in this industry, fishing industry is a huge risk because it's fishing, it's never catching, yeah? So when I look at my mentors, just for like in the long line example, even before you can start fishing, let's say you want to invest into a boat or invest into a long line vessel to start a business. Okay, so you have to buy the boat, but before you can go fishing, you need to buy the long line permit. The last long line permit that was auctioned off was somewhere in the $340,000 range just for the permit. So you're looking at, oh shit, I gotta get big money just before I can even go fishing.
The paper before the boat.
Paper before the boat. Okay, so now you get the paper. Now you get the boat. You're looking at another 150, 200,000. So now you're almost $500,000 into it, right? Before you set one hook. And then you got your gear. You got few bait, hooks, lines, lead, you know, and then you're not even talking about the crew. So when you're looking at what it takes to get into this industry, especially the fishing industry, probably similar to real estate, you know, you have a lot of overhead costs, right? Before you even get out the gate. So coming up, you know, learning from my mentors, watching them, trying to, like you said, figure out the puzzles. Like my puzzle is not the same as theirs one is, you know, like I might not have 500K right now to drop. Okay, so I break it down to the next smallest amounts. Okay, what is what's a goal that I can actually accomplish? Well, I can't own a long line boat today. Maybe 5 years I can. But what do I have? I have my boat. Okay, so what can I do with my boat? Oh, I can run lobster gear. I can run fish traps. I can run bottom fishing, you know, like I can do other things that could get me to the bigger boat eventually, right? So when I look at it, that's the steps that I have to take. And I'm actually falling in love with it, you know what I mean?
Fuck, like, me too. From the sidelines, bro. From the sidelines, I'm falling in love with it too. I mean, what you doing collectively too with other fishermen, I think. That's why I brought up High Seas Hawaii, or right. Josh, you know, because he popped up on my feed and I'm like, oh, someone's taking cinema on a boat now, right? Which Caleb's been doing, like this guy, Josh. I'm like, good. I want to see more of it. Bro, I love.
People wanted to see it,
bro. I love those. Watch my Explorer right now.
Yeah, it's
lures, fishing, and people on boats, people on the riverbank, like knots, all kinds.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I'm very grateful to Caleb, even Josh. Like, Josh, when I first bought the boat, even him, like talking to him, he's like, bro, like if I had to do it, I wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people tell me like they wouldn't have done it. And that's fine. That's them. Again,
that's their puzzle.
Yeah. But he's like, he was one of the first persons who told me, bro, you guys got something unique. This is before me and Caleb got together. I'll just go live, mostly all lives. You know?
Yeah. What's in the cooler?
Exactly. Because my theory was like, when I look at other fishing handles or whatever, Instagram, YouTube, is like highly edited, very nice final product, right? But I don't know if that was yesterday, last year, 2 years ago, you know what I mean? So when I say I'm a fisherman and I'm fishing, what's in the cooler and I go live, you know it's live. It's not yesterday, not tomorrow, not 3 years ago, you know, it's right now on the ocean, opening the cooler. So that's where that whole concept came from. It's like, because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, that's old. That was not you. That was last year. You know what I mean? Okay, fine then. Yeah, how about I go on right now so you can see? You know what I mean? And then,
which is very effective.